The seven kingdoms of Westeros consist of a diverse array of noble houses, both large and small. These houses have their origins in various races and have come to Westeros for reasons ranging from conquest to survival. While they share common laws, customs, and traditions, they also differ significantly based on their regional affiliations, religious beliefs, and other matters. One crucial law that all these houses agree upon is the Inheritnce law, which directly impacts the lineage and relevance of each house. The choice of the house's leader plays a pivotal role in determining its significance within the realm. Westeros, the tradition of male preference primogeniture prevails among most noble families. According to this custom, a man's eldest son assumes the role of heir, followed by the second son, third son, and so forth. The youngest son is succeeded in the line of succession by the eldest daughter, followed by her sisters in the order of their birth. Importantly, a man's daughter inherits before his own brother. However, lords have some flexibility. They can choose to designate a younger son as the heir, bypassing their older children. Alternatively, they may even name a child from another family as their heir. When there is no clear heir, claims can be presented to the king for resolution. Dorne, however, stands apart. In this region, there is no gender distinction in inheritance. Children inherit based on their birth order, regardless of whether they are sons or daughters. This practice follows the Rhoynish custom. Notably, when a female inherits, her surname is passed down to her own children, rather than her husband's name. In cases where a ruling lord dies without a clear heir, his widow may assert her claim to his lands and rule until her own demise. She might even name an heir independently, as exemplified by Lady Danella Hornwood and Lady Barbary Dustin. Noble lords often lay out specific terms for inheritance in their wills. These provisions can lead to legal disputes, and in some cases, even violence after their demise. For example, Lord Tywin Lannister, despite custom, favored his elder son Sir Jaime Lannister as the heir to Casterly Rock. He disregarded the claim of his younger son Tyrion, despite the fact that Jaime was disqualified due to his membership in the Kingsguard. Lord Wyman Webber stipulated in his will that his daughter and sole heir, Rohan, must marry within a specific time frame to retain her inheritance. Failure to do so would result in passing the inheritance to another relative. Lady Jane Arryn left a last testament naming her more distant cousin, Sir Joffrey, as the heir, bypassing her rebellious cousin, Sir Arnold, and his son, Eldrick. However, her passing triggered a war of succession in the Vale involving Sir Arnold, Sir Joffrey, and another claimant, Isambard Arryn. Throughout the seven kingdoms of Westeros, the role of legitimized bastards remains enigmatic. The question arises, do they follow the same path as true-born children, joining the line of succession based on birth order as if they had always been legitimate? Once legitimized, their status becomes irreversible. The claims of legitimized bastards can have far-reaching consequences for true-born relatives. A notable example is Daemon Blackfyre, the legitimized bastard son of King Aegon, the unworthy Targaryen. His descendants, over 5 generations, sought to claim the Iron Throne from Aegon's true-born heirs. While unlegitimized bastards lack a legal claim, they can still pose a threat to the inheritance of legitimate descendants. Consider the case of Jon Snow, an illegitimate child who chose to join the Night's Watch. His decision pleased Catelyn Stark, as Jon's lack of offspring ensures no challenge to her grandchildren's inheritance of Winterfell. Furthermore, heirs born into a different house relinquish their birth surname upon inheriting, adopting the name of the house they inherit. For instance, Joffrey Lyddon became a Lannister upon marrying the heiress of that noble house. The right of succession is not always set in stone, as individuals can willingly relinquish it. Let's explore some scenarios. Renouncing the throne. Prince Duncan Targaryen, eldest son of King Aegon V Targaryen, faced a momentous choice. He broke his betrothal to marry Jenny of Oldstones. When forced to decide between his claim to the throne and his love for Jenny, Duncan renounced his birthright. Naming an heir, kings and lords wield the power to designate another as their heir. For instance, King Aerys, the second Targaryen, chose his younger son, Viserys Targaryen, over his grandson, Aegon Targaryen, following the death of his eldest son, Rhaegar. Lord Walder Frey threatened to name his youngest son as heir, bypassing all other sons and grandsons. Yet, even in such cases, future claims may arise. Loss of succession rights. Membership in certain orders or roles results in the forfeiture of succession rights. Night's Watch, Septons, Septas, Silent Sisters, and Meisters abandon their claims. Joining the King's Guard also severs ties to inheritance. Traitors face attainder, wherein not only the individual but also their descendants are stripped of their right to inherit. The rules of inheritance for the Iron Throne diverge from those in the rest of Westeros. Over time, the rights of females to inherit the throne have shifted due to various power struggles. Throughout history, women have been declared heirs to the throne both directly and indirectly. For instance, when King Aegon the Conqueror Targaryen's eldest grandchild, Princess Rhaenyra Targaryen, was born in 23 AC, she was considered second in line to the throne. After her father, Prince Aenys Targaryen, King Maegor Targaryen, still childless in 47 AC, named his niece Princess Rhaenyra Targaryen as his heir. In 105 AC, after the death of his newborn son, King Viserys Targaryen declared his daughter Rhaenyra as his heir. Despite subsequent male births, he maintained her position in the line of succession. As the Targaryen dynasty approached its first century, doubts began to emerge regarding female inheritance of the Iron Throne. King Jaehaerys Targaryen's eldest son, Prince Aemon Targaryen, had held the position of heir until his demise in 92 AC. Aemon had only one child, a daughter named Rhaenys. When it came time to designate a new heir, King Jaehaerys chose his next eldest son, Prince Baelon, over Aemon's daughter Rhaenys. Tragically, Baelon also passed away in 101 AC. In response, a great council was convened, during which the Westerosi lords participated in a critical vote on succession. They favored Baelon's son, Viserys, over Rhaenys' son, Laenor Velaryon, by a significant margin, 20-1. The Lord's decision reflected a preference for male lineage over female, and they believed that a precedent had been established. The Iron Throne could not pass to a woman or her male descendants. Ironically, Prince Viserys, now crowned king, later defied these precedents by naming his daughter, Rhaenyra Targaryen, as his heir, despite having 3 healthy sons from a second marriage. This controversial choice ultimately ignited the civil war known as the Dance of the Dragons. The conflict known as the Dance of the Dragons erupted when Viserys' eldest surviving son, Aegon Targaryen, asserted his claim to the throne following Viserys' demise. This struggle divided loyalties across the 7 kingdoms, with Aegon and Rhaenyra vying for power. During the war, both Aegon II's sons, Jaehaerys and Maelor, and Rhaenyra's 3 eldest sons, Jacaerys, Lucerys, and Joffrey Valerion, met tragic fates. Meanwhile, Rhaenyra's youngest son, Prince Viserys, was presumed dead. In an effort to bring an end to the conflict, Lord Corlys Velaryon orchestrated a strategic move. Aegon II's sole remaining heir, his daughter Jaehaera, was betrothed to Rhaenyra's son, Aegon the Younger. Both were designated as Aegon II's heirs. However, the king also arranged a separate betrothal. Despite Aegon II passing away without further offspring, the marriage between Aegon the Younger and Princess Jaehaera remained childless. Consequently, Aegon the Younger ascended to the throne as King Aegon, the 3rd Targaryen after Jaehaera's death. Following the Dance of the Dragons, the agnatic principle established during the Great Council of 101 AC underwent slight modifications. According to a semi-canon source, women were placed in the Targaryen succession after all men. In other words, women could only ascend to the throne if the entire male line of House Targaryen ceased to exist. Despite this, several female claims have been considered over time. For instance, in 171 AC, after the deaths of Aegon III's childless sons, Daeron and Baelor, the claims of Aegon III's 3 daughters were evaluated. However, the memory of the recent Dance of the Dragons influenced the Lord's decision, and they passed over the claims of the 3 women. Instead, Aegon's brother, Viserys II, assumed the throne. Decades later, King Maegor Targaryen passed away without a clear heir. His simple-minded granddaughter Rhaenyra Targaryen, the sole child of Maegor's eldest son, was considered a potential claimant. Unfortunately, her claim was swiftly dismissed. During Robert's Rebellion, the sack of King's Landing resulted in the demise of King Aerys II Targaryen. His sister wife, Queen Rhaenyra Targaryen, was pregnant with Princess Daenerys and sought refuge at Dragonstone alongside Aerys' surviving son, Prince Viserys. Viserys was declared king on the island fortress. However, Robert Baratheon claimed the Iron Throne by right of conquest. The rebels chose him as their claimant due to his Targaryen lineage. He was the grandson of Princess Rhaenyra Targaryen, the youngest daughter of King Aegon V Targaryen, which strengthened his claim. Interestingly, the exiled Viserys declared his sister, Daenerys, as his heir, granting her the title of Princess of Dragonstone. Following Viserys' death, Daenerys herself asserted her claim to the Iron Throne. In summary, even though legal rules govern succession, lords and kings retain the authority to select their heirs or disinherit them, thus shaping their own legacy.